So whatever class ran the most laps or miles by the end of recess or by the end of the week, by the end of the month, would win certain prizes.
Wow.
And then there was also like an individual competition as well. And so me and my best friend, just who actually was in the opposing class, really went at it. And so like 5th grade.
Was it Rory Linkletter?
No, nah.
Alright, welcome back. Another episode of Talking While Running. In probably the most beautiful location yet. Utah, just outside Salt Lake City. And we're with a very special guest, Clayton Young. Shout out Clayton, thanks for coming. BYU alum, 10K NCAA champ, and now an ASICS pro. Couldn't be more stoked to have you, and
Thanks for having me.
Coordinated this in like a day, so
yeah,
happy it worked out, man.
Thanks for coming out here and meeting me.
So we're in Salt Lake. It's my first time here. You're about as Utah native as it gets.
Pretty close.
Where are we, and what run is this?
Yeah, so this is good old Provo, Utah, 45 minutes south of Salt Lake, and we're out near Utah Lake on one of the docks, and we're about to head into what's called the BYU Lake Loop. So that's where we're headed today. Just an easy 4 or 5 mile run.
Yeah.
Nothing too special.
And this is your double for the day.
My double for the day.
What was this morning's training?
Yeah, just an easy 12 and a half. Just recovering from yesterday's workout.
Nuts. So call it about 16, 17, 18 on the day by the end of this.
Yes.
Not for me. For him.
Yeah.
So I think we have to talk about COVID first and foremost. You know, what's your summer been like? What's the training been like? Where are you at?
Yeah, COVID, I think, is definitely taking us all for a loop. I think training's been a little bit weird. It's been kind of the battle of, okay, should I take a break or should I try to maintain fitness for as long as I can until some random race pops up? And so that's honestly what it's kind of been like. Yeah, I'm still in my master's program at BYU, so lots of masks, lots of staying away from people.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy, but yeah, training's definitely been a little bit weird in terms of just finding some goal races to go for. And
so
something to train for.
Have you landed on anything in the upcoming future? What's coming up next?
Yeah, so back in August, we had the chance to race the Sunset Tour out in LA.
Yep.
And it was an okay showing, but we felt like we hadn't had enough races under our belts to really, I don't know, to feel ready.
Yeah.
And so there's actually another one coming up in December. So December 5th
Sick.
is another Sunset Tour race. I guess they call it the track beat.
Oh, right.
And
shout out Jesse Williams.
That's right.
Friend of the brand, Trackster. Okay, sick. So, yeah, you're studying it for your master's in engineering. What kind of engineering?
Yeah, I'm studying mechanical engineering.
Mechanical, okay.
Yeah.
Why mechanical engineering? How have you arrived there? And why are you so smart?
Yeah, out of necessity.
Oh, okay.
Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a good one.
No. I guess mechanical engineering is because I was that one nerdy kid that loved math and science. I loved his Legos and Tinker Toys and Connects.
Heck yeah.
I like computers and coding and all that jazz.
Yep.
So that's why. And then kind of getting my master's in it, you know, I had the chance to go pro, and I felt like the school running balance really worked for me.
Right.
So I figured I should just keep going to school.
Yeah, I love it. So that's a great segue. You're trained now with your college coach still, right?
Yeah.
What's that kind of like, and how's that going? How's that group?
Yeah, so after I won the 10K, I kind of had some people reach out to me and I had the chance to go pro, and you know, a lot of stuff on the table, but I ultimately wanted to choose. I wanted to go pro somewhere where I'd already had success, essentially.
Got you.
And so it's kind of like, why change a good thing?
Yeah. Ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So,
I love that.
And then honestly, I felt like I had a lot of stuff going for me here in Provo. So I had my master's program. I had Coach Istone, 2-time Olympian. I had honestly some of the best training partners you could ask for. Olympian Jared Ward. NCAA All-American Connor McMillan, former teammate. And then just the BYU crowd. So it's nice because I still have access to like all their facilities, like their weight room and training room and all that jazz. So that's kind of why BYU and why I decided to stay pro here, and grateful for ASICS that was willing to kind of take a chance on that.
To your left, right? Correct.
Yep.
Beautiful. Oh, that another segue, man. You're reading my mind. But how did ASICS become the brand? How did that relationship manifest itself, and what's great about ASICS?
Yeah, so ASICS, I love it because they're really personalized. I have a really good relationship with them, their sports marketing team, and just all the other ASICS athletes. And I feel like I know them, and I'm not just some number of an athlete. Number two, they make awesome products. And I feel like, you know, I've had the chance as an engineer to kind of test out a lot of their products and to kind of give them some real feedback, some biomechanics feedback. It's cool that I get to do that. I get to help them design their next spike or their marathon shoe, or, you know, even down to their trainers. It's been fun to test them out and vouch for the brand.
So what does that testing really look like?
Yeah,
that sounds pretty interesting. Like more than just wearing it, I imagine.
I mean, I think it's different with every athlete, but they understand that I love to kind of geek out about this stuff.
Right.
So for me, like the last kind of pair of marathon shoes that I got to test out, I got 3 to 4 different samples with different foams, stack heights, different stiffnesses, and got to base them just based off of like feel, springiness, all that jazz, like normal stuff. And then I also took them into the biomechanics lab.
That's what I was getting at.
And then I did VO2 testing.
Oh crap.
And like biomechanics angular testing on, you know, comparing each shoe. And also the Meta Racer, which is their current marathon shoe. So.
Is that a carbon?
Yep, Meta Racer's a fairly low stack height shoe for a marathon shoe.
Nowadays.
But carbon plated, and it's got a little bit of they call it their glide sole technology, so that propelling forward motion, which is super nice.
So you've touched on it a little. I want to jump on into it in more detail. The 10K last year. NCAA championship in Austin.
Oh, man.
I mean, I know the video's out there, most people in running know about it.
And that I've got that speed in me, but that whole race I was just patience. And I knew if I stayed patient and took the lead, and once I took the lead, I knew that I had to give it all. And once I knew if I beat the Bama boy to the last 200 meters, that I could take it and finish strong enough to make it to the end of the line. My kick hasn't always been notorious or well known, I often get passed in the last 200 meters. I mean, it's happened race and race time and time again. I've been at nationals in 6 different events now, and I've led going into the last 400 2 or 3 times, and I've gotten eaten up every time. So practicing that over and over and over again to finally to close it out this senior year, it feels incredible. It took me long enough to figure it out.
But take us through that day. What do you remember now, looking back a year plus later? What stands out?
You know, honestly, what stands out? Honestly, what stands out the most is who was there. Like,
in your corner.
My wife was there. My baby girl Lucy was there. Isaac Wood, our director of ops, screaming on the top of his lungs, was there. Coach Eystone was there. My teammates 3-4.
Right, they were
right
there.
Yeah. And like just like celebrating that moment with them is something like I'll never forget. And then, yeah, even just the feeling of cooling down with Connor Mance afterwards and doing victory laps on the track. Like, those are things I'll remember for sure. And then just also just like going back and just trying to figure out what made that race so special.
Yeah, that's,
you know, this first year going pros in ASICS, or going pro for ASICS, honestly is kind of had its ups and downs.
Yeah, of course.
In terms of like trying to find that success again. Not the desire, but just the success. And so trying to figure out, okay, what did I do right there that honestly I can now implement now, you know, like what are the key takeaways?
Right.
What did I do right? And you know, races change, body changes, so it's not like you want to like repeat the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
What were the good things? Yeah.
And you said in the interview after that, you know, if you ran the race again or a couple more times, your own teammates would probably you know, mix around or even take the win.
For sure.
What is it about the BYU culture or team that just leads to so much depth in the 10K distance cross races?
You know, honestly, those couple of years, especially my junior and senior year, I feel like our team finally grasped the idea of like what it really means to compete with your teammates. That it's, you know, it's not about in practice trying to prove who's the better athlete, trying to drop this person.
Just ego.
Yeah.
Stuff.
It's not a giant, you know, pissing contest.
Right.
It's more about, okay, if you're good, then I'm good. And if you get faster, then I can get faster, because that's just what it's
iron
all
sharpens
about.
iron.
Yeah. And I honestly think the biggest example of that is my teammate Rory Linkletter. You know, really dominant NCAA career. Had one of the best kicks you can imagine in the NCAA. And I honestly had an okay kick, but I didn't have a great kick.
Sure.
And one thing that I had that maybe Roy didn't have is, you know, I could really gut it out in some of the fast-paced races, but he could. And I think by the end, we really learned from each other. And so I remember his sophomore year, he ran like a 55-second last lap to take second in the NCAA 10K. And I really wanted that. And so I really focused on learning that, and I don't know, trying to learn from my teammates and what their strengths were.
Should we turn here? You
Yeah.
Go. We can turn, T. Good stuff.
How far out are we?
I have just under 2. 1.95. Fire. No, you're doing good. Just, I mean, slow is good too.
Yeah, if we need to go slower to keep it steady, that's cool.
It's chilling. Actually, I mean, yeah, we're alright. Pace-wise, we're fine.
Yeah.
But... Okay, sick. Back to where were we?
Yeah.
Just turned around the loop.
Yeah, just really learning from teammates, honestly.
And, I mean, you mentioned Coach Eystone, 2 Olympics himself.
Yep.
I think a national champ multiple times over.
Yep.
And Jared Ward.
Yep.
Is probably around you all the time.
Yeah.
Do you ever pick their brains on how to be at that elite level? I imagine that's a silly question, but
no, all the time. I mean, Coach Eyestone's funny because he has so much. He's a smart dude. Like, he has so much knowledge when it comes to like sports psychology and physiology. But he honestly, one thing that's so great about Coach is like, we call him Easy E. Like, he doesn't oversaturate it. Like, he'll only give it to you if you ask him for it.
Gotcha.
And so sometimes you gotta really pry it out of him. Like, every now and then he'll finally share, you know, like, yeah,
just a nugget.
When he, like, how is it that he did win the Triple Crown? Like, how did he win the 5K, the 10K, and cross? Like,
right,
or just
yeah,
like,
I forgot it.
What were his long runs like? What were his workouts like? Because he doesn't really, he's really good at not comparing, and, you know, it was a different era of running.
Oh, no doubt.
But every now and then, yeah, there's some nuggets that he shares, especially of his marathon days. You know, training in Mexico, training with, anyway, all sorts of units.
So, what's because you've been in Utah running, you know, since before high school.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
how'd you get started?
I was born in California.
Oh, okay.
And then moved to Washington State when I was 7. And it was in Washington that I actually started running. I didn't move to Utah until right before high school.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I got started running in a program called Mileage Club in high school.
Okay.
So
interesting.
It's kind of this weird thing where every Friday during lunch recess, you could go run laps around the soccer field.
Yeah.
And every lap you ran, you got a ticket. And at the end of recess, all the kids would run inside and they'd give their tickets to their teacher. And it was like a classroom competition. So whatever class ran the most laps or miles, by the end of recess or by the end of the week, by the end of the month, would win certain prizes.
Wow.
And then there was also like an individual competition as well. And so me and my best friend, just who actually was in the opposing class, really went at it. And so like 5th grade.
Was it Rory Linkletter?
No, nah. This was in Washington, so I didn't even know the name of Rory Linkletter.
Okay.
That would have been fun though.
Just a future protege as well.
No, his name's Alex Montes de Oca.
Oh, respect.
But we ended up running like 100 miles that year during Friday lunch recesses. I mean, so we put like 3 miles in, but every Friday.
Yeah.
That's
Where
how it
in
started.
Washington?
Yakima.
Cool.
Yakima. For you Central Valley, Washington folk.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You don't hear about a lot of schools having a mileage club.
Yeah, it was cool, and that's where I realized, you know, it's something I was good at. I mean,
sure.
I played a lot of soccer growing up, but I realized I was better at running, and so it goes. How to eventually choose between, you know, soccer and running, like most people.
Did you choose that around high school?
Yeah, it was like it's probably like 7th, 8th grade that they coincided. Spring track and soccer were at the same time, and I had to choose. And yeah, I was a better runner.
Yeah, well, I think you made the right call in hindsight. So, what's the best part about training in Utah nowadays with your current life? And is it summer versus winter, all that?
You know, summers definitely get hot and winters definitely get cold. I'm not gonna lie, on this loop, I've frozen quite a bit, but honestly, Utah, especially Provo, is like that perfect elevation. You know,
what are we at?
We're at like 4,600 feet.
Perfect.
So it's like just enough to get some altitude gains, but just low enough that you can still feel like you can roll in some 400s in the mile. And then, you know, 30-40 minutes from here is Park City. So if you do really want some like high caliber, 6,000, 7,000 feet elevation, it's right there.
That's pretty cool.
So that's honestly why I find that Provo is really awesome. And then, like I said before, like Coach Eyestone, the BYU crew, Jared Ward, I mean, it doesn't get any better. That's what Provo's all about.
A pro in Provo.
A pro in Provo. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out, you know, like what do we call ourselves?
Yeah, it's right there. I can feel it.
Yeah.
So I did do some stalking of your tiffers before this. All ridiculously impressive stuff. But I did notice a 4 flat mile.
Oh man, you had to bring that one up.
We can cut it.
No.
Just kidding.
It's a regret of mine because, I mean, I think I raced the mile 3 times in college. Twice here at BYU.
Insane.
So
4,500.
Yeah. So it was like 405, which converts to like a 401. And then I got one chance to run it like a legit mile down at altitude, or down at sea level, and at the UW invite.
Okay, Dempsey.
Yeah. I didn't have a time they could see me at, so they put me on the second row.
BS, dude.
And I know. They're like, put me on the second row. Terrible start.
So we round down. That's
4
clean.
flat 0.77.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Do you think you'll ever try to
I want to.
gear up a mile again?
I mean, that was just like last year. I finally got to race a mile. Well, I guess that's been 2 years now. But,
you're young.
Yeah.
It'll come. I'm sorry.
It is sad. No, I don't know.
It's not sad because it's such a raw time that no one can say anything, but it's one of those things. I'm sure if I were in that realm, it'd be tough. But what's the next few days like for you? As much as you're willing to share with the people.
Yeah.
Any barn burners or crazy workouts?
So right now in our training block, so I'm on a rotation of 100, 105, 110. And
miles, people.
Miles. And we're doing that in 6 days.
What?
Yeah. Just
with a rest?
Yeah, we don't run on Sundays.
Okay.
Both from like a physical standpoint, I honestly feel like a day off part of the week is
I think it's clutch.
Honestly, helps me recover and helps me not so much even physically, but mentally, like kind of gear up for the new week. And then also from a religious standpoint, I don't run on Sundays. And I've kind of had to bridge that gap a little bit as a pro because a lot of races are on Sundays. So
true.
I really have to be picky about which ones I compete at.
Okay.
But
that makes sense.
Anyway, so that's and with us doing the 10K, we're in 10K training instead of marathon training right now. We don't do our long runs any longer than 18 miles.
Okay.
Usually we're doing like 20, 25 mile long runs.
Yeah. For a marathon cycle?
For a marathon cycle.
Yeah.
But right now it's just 18, so doing 110 with only an 18 mile long run makes for some pretty grindy
some volume.
So I'm usually running 12 to 14 in the morning and then 5 in the afternoon.
Where, besides this loop, where, like if people are in Salt Lake or Provo area, are there any good spots for them to go check out and run?
Honestly, I would say the majority of our mileage is on the Provo River Trail, which goes all the way up Provo Canyon to Vivian Park. And that's like a solid, honestly, you can get 20 miles on it easy. Wow. And then the other good Provo River Trail comes out here to the lake, which is nice. And then the other really great place to really get rolling on is the Murdoch Canal Trail, which is up on the bench along the mountains. That's pretty good. If you want some dirt, the Bonneville Shoreline Trail is pretty good as well.
Wow. Plenty of good ones.
If you want a nice drive and some really good dirt, north side of Deer Creek, there's a trail up there that's pretty awesome.
Well, that's all you need, really. It seems like Salt Lake is a heck of a place to get after it and hunker down, if you will.
Amen.
Oh, dude, you did do that Chosky thing.
Yeah.
Shout out Tyler Andrews.
Oh man, Chasky Challenge. That was Chosky.
Yeah.
That was a grind, honestly.
What was it for people?
Yeah, so Chosky Challenge, pretty much running a marathon, broken up into 3. So one person's running about 12 miles, one person's running about 8 miles, and one person's running 6 miles. And I did that with Jared Ward and Jake Heslington, former BYU alumni guys. Jared Ward pulled us out strong. I think we were in the lead for a little while.
Surprising.
Yeah, I mean, averaged, I think just about 5:05 for 12 miles up here, which is pretty respectable.
Yeah.
My turn, had the 8-mile leg, and oh, it was a grind, honestly. It was one of those, so Chosky Challenge, they had teams competing all across the world.
Yeah, right.
But all in the same, at the same time, so
Window.
different time zones. So like some people were starting at like 7 a.m. We had to start at like 4 or 5 p.m.
Damn.
Here in Utah in the summer. So it was like 80 some odd degrees and we were dying.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So I started off at like 4:50 pace and died to like 5:10, 5:15 pace. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, well, that's respect. I mean, it's just, you're doing it for the people, for the culture.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
And then Jake Heslington came back and almost pulled us back into
on the
lead,
6 miles?
But we lost by, I think we lost by like 25 seconds.
To
the whole marathon is to Northern Arizona crew.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, that's a good topic.
Yeah.
Another sore subject right now.
Yeah, I don't know who exactly it was. I mean, respects to them, they were at like 8,000 feet.
Oh, wow.
So we got the heat, they got the elevation, we got the mid elevation.
At flag.
Yeah, they were up at flag.
Yeah. What's so for people who don't know, that's a decent rivalry out here
Amen.
in the running world, NAU and BYU.
Huge.
Yeah, so what's kind of the feelings like to that, and do you really hate them, or?
Honestly, a lot of respect. I mean, they've had some incredible runners, they've ran some incredible races, and it was nice to have the last laugh this last season as BYU beat NAU when we were supposed to be
one of the best
rebuilding
men's teams, maybe.
Anyway, but honestly, mad respects, and honestly, the rivalry kind of continues. I mean, with NAZ Elite, I mean, awesome pro group, good people.
But Rory.
Yeah, Rory may have switched sides a little bit, but
Professor's name.
No, big respects to them. Big respects to Rory and the NAZ team, because honestly, I think, I don't know, it's that competition that makes us so good.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were some races that really
contentious,
hurt.
Yeah.
A lot of cross-country races, but I mean, it was nice to come back in indoor nationals and in the 10K, like to go 1-3-4 as we're saying peace out to my senior year. That was awesome.
Yeah. The BYU, NAU's obviously sick, but man, that BYU depth and the pedigree and everything, it
was good.
It's legit.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. To have 6 guys in that final was awesome.
Right.
It's practically your whole team.
Yeah,
there. You're warming up and cooling down.
Completely nuts.
It was a good time.
Just like an open cross-country race almost, or something.
Seriously.
Do you prefer cross-country or track back in the day?
Oh man. Honestly, my credentials are way better on the track.
Okay.
I never was an All-American in cross. It's so sad.
Yeah.
I should have been. I honestly lost probably several of the titles just from me being so bad.
No.
Yeah, it was sad.
You've done more, I'm sure.
But I love the team aspect of cross, and
Right.
I wish I could just hop in one of these
Oh, yeah.
college meets and race them just for my own
Thrill, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my own pride.
I understand.
But
Well, it's just under 4 on the dot.
yeah, another mile,
Unreal,
so-
yeah, he'll do more. We'll probably film a little more, but my guy.
Dude,
Thank you so
thanks,
much.
Emmett, appreciate it.
Yeah, bro.